Prime Minister Modi organized for a Kenya government mission to visit Gujarat, and I had the opportunity to visit this company's infrastructure projects in that state that included a port, a power plant, a railway line, and an airstrip developed out of what was a swamp donated by the government of India. I'm talking about Adani group of companies. I also visited the city of Mumbai to see the electricity projects set up by the company, where it serves over 13 million consumer meters in metropolitan Mumbai and the industrial hub of Mundra Special Economic Zone. Adani Energy Solutions Limited has a cumulative transmission network of 21,783 circuit kilometers of power transmission lines and 61,687 megavolts ampere transmission capacity. The company owns more than energy infrastructure than Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania combined. In the same city of Mumbai, I visited the international airport that had been overhauled and upgraded by the company and turned from a collapsing, degenerate airport to a first-class facility. After the Kenya government delegation came back, the company expressed interest in investing in Kenya. The first expression of interest was far back as 2010. The government was, however, unable to pursue the matter because Kenya did not have a legal framework for engaging in PPP models of financing of public infrastructure. We looked toward India to understand how it was carrying out its projects. Unfortunately, we adulterated what we borrowed from India and then ended up with a law that is not fulfilling the needs of the country or the expectations of the people. The law is also not facilitative to interested investors, especially knowing that all our neighbors are in competition with us to attract foreign partners in public infrastructure. We must change the way we address our planned PPPs if we are to protect the current positioning of Kenya as the most profitable and reliable destination for PPP programs, and at the same time ensure that the interests of the people of Kenya are protected. We must, A, choose the appropriate PPP model that works best for the people of Kenya. PPP models do not have to fall into templates, and we should design our models to cater for the specific realities about our projects, our contributions, and our expectations. B, ensure our models provide for the distribution of the PPP burden fairly between the people of Kenya and the investors. Kenyans cannot be made to bear all risks in the PPP projects. Kenyans can guarantee break-even returns, but never commercial profit. C, we must establish reducible minimum terms in our PPPs, including the recognition of the jurisdiction of Kenyan courts, recognition of the application of the laws of Kenya, recognition of environmental protection. D, we must ensure that there is a viable publicly financed alternatives to the general public for every PPP project that requires any form of premium payment for use. We must ensure that the discharge by investors of their responsibilities under PPP is secured by performance bonds guaranteed by credible banking institutions. But as we do the above, we must remember that PPP proposals are businessmen and participate in these projects to make profits. And we must also remember that we are not the only investment destination in the world, and that if we have punitive terms, investors will simply go to the next country. Given the current financial status of the country, PPP is the only way out of cash incentive projects for these projects. If we plant doubts in our capacity to handle the PPPs, we must be prepared for a prolonged period of development drought and risk being overtaken by our neighbors. The ongoing energy and airport projects, therefore, present a critical test that could make. Sorry, I want to repeat that. The ongoing energy and airport projects, therefore, present a critical test that could make or break our ability to compete in the field of infrastructure development for a considerable period. End of statement.
The statement is about PPP, and if you have any question, let it be related to that. Do you have any questions? Yes, your name and then we get answer.
My name is Raila. I work for KPFO TV. Maybe your take on the Adani takeover as being promoted by the public. Maybe what you advise with the government? Should the government go ahead and do the project, or what you are taking?
As you see, there have been quite a bit of innuendos about Adani, and I've explained that this is a reputable company, by my knowledge. And this company actually has done very many PPP projects. I mentioned that we visited India, and he introduced us to several Indian conglomerates. Adani was one of them. One was Mr. Ratan Tata, who was also there at the conference that we attended. And then we visited a project that was done through a PPP by Adani in a place called Mundra. This was a marsh land next to the sea, 5,000 hectares of land, which was granted to the Adanis by the government of Mr. Modi. They drained the swamp and constructed a deep sea port to import coal from Indonesia. And then they put up a power plant, coal-fired, 4,600 megawatts in that place. The Tata Group then also came and put up another second power plant, another 4,600 megawatts, a total of 9,200 megawatts of power in that same spot only. Not only that, they also built a railway line, 100 kilometers, to connect that port to the major railway network. A sleeping village of 5,000 people mushroomed to become a town of 200,000 people, as many industries rushed to go and invest in that place. They also built an airport. This was a real success story of a PPP. Then also the Bombay airport, which had been fly-infested international airport. When it was given through PPP, they took it over and converted it into a very modern, first-class airport today. It is today. The same thing with the airport in Delhi. So what I'm trying to say is that we've seen firsthand what some of these companies are able to do, what PPP can do to an economy, not to try to ostracize PPP as a concept. It's a concept that has worked very well around the world. And I'm not saying that there needs to be transparency in dealing with these issues. Otherwise, you're likely to try to condemn very reputable companies. As we see stories like Adani Gate. Adani company conglomerate is worth over $200 billion. It cannot be an Adani Gate. Deal with the issues as they are. If some people have made mistakes, let them own up that they made some mistakes. But do not begin to condemn innocent companies who are basically doing normal commercial transactions.